What do rich people look like? Perhaps you're thinking of an old, wrinkled man with a suit on, always dressed up for a board meeting. But what if I told you there's a new kind of rich? The kind that you didn't expect. Someone young, relentless, and couldn't care less what you think of them. They're known as the new rich. The game officially begins. Who's the new rich, and are you one of them? Keep watching to find out. Number 1. The new rich are kingmakers. They are the owners and never the employees. They don't actually get the check, they just cut it. The fact that their accomplishment wasn't an individual effort allows them to assist others in becoming wealthy. Normally, the person receiving the check makes far less than the person cutting it. The new rich have made it their goal to handle things on their own since they don't perceive themselves to be up for sale. They are aware that by making others rich, they boost their own status, and that's a solid rule to live by. Number 2. When you have stress-free time, you are wealthy. Instead of measuring riches by how much one has, the new rich measure wealth by how much one has in one's time. You probably know people who have plenty of free time but spend their days on the couch worrying about the future. The objective is to be able to accomplish whatever you want without that internal voice telling you that you need to be doing something else instead. You can feel wealthy by living in your own space and minimizing the amount of mental stress you experience. The old rich were extremely wealthy, but they were terrified of losing everything. Number 3. You are following in the legend's footsteps. The new rich have mentors, teachers, and role models. They do their own research, follow and analyze what other people have done. In order to advance more quickly than earlier generations, they make it their personal duty to adapt whatever they learned from them. Any member of the new rich will be able to identify their mentors and express how important their advice has been if you ask them. You might be surprised to learn that the new rich are more than prepared to spend thousands of dollars for a couple of hours with someone they like or admire in order to gain whatever insights they can. They have discovered that the more money they invest in mentors and coaches, the more money they'll ultimately make or save. Also, the wider public can greatly profit from this type of input. Number 4. Enough funds to support your lifestyle without having to work more or less than you wish. When you earn a lot of money, you're rich. Being wealthy is when you can stop working to earn a lot of money. Those who can enjoy an upper middle class lifestyle without working are the new wealthy. They discovered a way to earn tremendous money. Practically all of it was put into dull investments such as real estate and transformed into parking lots, a laundry business, Airbnbs, and more. They typically have a business manager who handles the daily operations. The new rich would have more than enough money to support themselves if they choose to stop working today. Number 5. They don't need cash. Since they're being showered with loads of cash, they simply don't need it. They've already accomplished the goal of raising money. They're aware that they can always turn on a switch to produce more on their own. They can take care of themselves and don't need anyone else. More business possibilities and ideas are being rejected by the new rich as compared to any other generation, mainly because they don't want the pressure or hassle of having to take care of other people. Number 6. Those who have already succeeded but who still push themselves are all around you. The new rich don't move alone. They live in residences together and travel in groups. They exercise, eat, think, and most importantly, do business together. The new rich realize that achieving money is a multiplayer game and that it's far simpler to achieve when you play with others who share your objectives. They track down others their age whom they connect with and use each other's skills and networks to enrich themselves further. They're completely open with one another, lay all of their cards on the table, and prioritize making each other successful. If you do the math, it's pretty simple. Doing it alone will probably require you to make hundreds of mistakes before you succeed. In this situation, working together makes it possible for everyone to reach your goal a lot faster than if you tried to do it alone. Number 7. Once the new rich get bored, they switch to a minimalist lifestyle. The majority of the new rich were raised in poverty, so when you first acquire money, everything is wonderful. You want to brag about having money since you've never had the chance to spend it. You see all of these rich kids flexing so much on social media because it's fun. They seek status and a way to announce their success to the world. If you fast forward a few years, the need to flex drastically fades. It's very exciting the first time you walk into a Gucci store with cash in hand. But the dopamine rush you get from buying things eventually fades. After a few purchases, it stops being exciting and becomes just a bag. Whereas the previous rich generation led these extravagant lifestyles and placed a heavy emphasis on belongings, the new rich view possessions as a burden. One laptop runs their entire operation, not to mention everything is stored on the cloud, making travel easy. Because they're aware that they will shift over time, they choose to rent rather than purchase assets. Hence, there's no need to restrain themselves. Number 8. Speed is what distinguishes the new rich. In less than 5 years, exponential growth happened very quickly. Even if practically everything has changed, those who knew you years ago still believe you're the same kind of person. Along the road, you transformed into a different person, an enhanced version of who you previously were. Since time has passed significantly differently in their universe than in yours, several of them are unable to understand what specifically has happened and how you got to the place you are in today. Number 9. You're the first generation to make money with modern technology. Even though you tried to explain how you obtained your wealth, old rich people wouldn't fully understand because the new rich are defined by modern technology to such an extent. Back in the days, a large factory would be required if you wanted to make $1 million every month. Many offices and buildings, hundreds or thousands of employees. The new rich now achieve these figures with virtual goods or by outsourcing all production to foreign countries while maintaining fewer than 10 personnel. Every latest technological revolution generates enormous wealth. Number 10. Anxiety, depression, and an unusual sense of emptiness. This sense of angst is something that the new rich deal with differently than the older generations. Building generational wealth and succeeding used to take a lifetime, but now the new rich can do it before even hitting their 30s. You are willing to do it for the long haul since you have watched everyone else around you battle for it their entire lives. The new rich, however, disregards everything else. They become laser-focused, working at full speed. What's left is a lack of sense of direction. The new rich put a lot of effort into getting there, but they really did so more quickly than they had anticipated. What's left is a life without purpose. The new rich put a lot of effort into getting there, but they really did it much faster than they anticipated. Number 11. With innovative business models, you're overturning a sector or an industry. One of the main reasons the old rich resented this new generation was that their legacies are being buried by the industries. Take Mr. Beast, for example, with monthly views that beats the whole mainstream media. Number 12. The new rich are not restricted by location. They can conduct their whole business using their laptop or phone. They could do business on a warm sunny day, relaxing, while watching the waves on the beach. And why pay taxes when you could relocate to a distant region of the world and live like royalty while paying no income tax? While the new rich can move their factories and office buildings, the old rich couldn't. This provides them with unlimited locational freedom. Number 13. The new rich are an open book. They're open to the public eye. You may see their progress from the very beginning. Everything was carried out in public, the good and the bad. Almost all of them have worked their way up from the bottom. It started with a couple of supporters and then things got out of hand. Your supporters, audience, community, and clients all want to see you succeed because they identify with who you are and what you advocate for. They are ready to stand by you. Number 14. They are risk takers. The old rich are allergic to risks. Their goal becomes minimizing risk across all forms. On the contrary, the new rich made their money by taking on all the risks associated with new technology. If the risk doesn't work out, there are also many possibilities for what to do next. Number 15. You wake up each morning inspired to be you. Imagine being happy to be living the life you want when you wake up each morning. The new rich are always grateful. Regardless of whether or not you're one of the new rich, someone out there wants to be in your position. Never take for granted what you have since it could be someone else's dream to have what you have right now. You may have bumped into a few members of the new rich in your life, and it's possible that some of you are already part of this new rich circle. So are you one of them? Let us know in the comments section below, and if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.